Growing up in Springville, Alabama, something stood out about Casey Mize right from the start.
People knew, my family knew when I lost, they didn't want to be around me because I was crybaby, angry all the time if I didn't win, because I'm extremely competitive in most things that I do. I've gotten better since then, but at a very young age, it was probably unbearable for people, and so that's why, I think my brother really kind of let me win. And then one day, I guess I bragged too much to him about winning or something, and one day he just kind of decided, it's over, man. I'm not letting you win anymore.
The experience humbled this year's #1 overall draft pick, who now gets a little bit of the big brother treatment from his fellow minor leaguers in the Tigers organization.
I'll ask a question or something, they're like, why do you need to ask questions? You're 1-1 or things like that. So it's just, the term 1-1 gets thrown out a lot at me, and so it's just, I've been kind of just wearing it. As
he should, with pride. Over 3 seasons at Auburn University, Mize struck out incredibly 324 batters while walking just 43. He became the first Southeastern Conference pitcher picked at the top of the MLB Draft since David Price in 2007. Despite throwing a mere 13 2/3 innings as a minor leaguer prior to being shut down for the 2018 season, he's already regarded as a top 20 prospect across all major league organizations.
We're very confident with all the scouting reports and the way he's handled himself here that he's a big, strong guy, very smart, extremely competitive. He's shown a real high level of focus, more so than most kids are on the mound, whether it's a bullpen or in the game. And of course, our scouting reports with his stuff looks like it's, he'll have a good season, I'm sure. I'm not really going to put a timeline or anything on any destination right now. I think, my expectations of myself are continue to work hard every single day. And, honestly, it's pretty cliche, but trust the process, I think. I really believe at the end of it, it's just wherever I am is wherever I am. And, I can feel convicted in what I'm doing if I really put in the work and, trust the process of how everything's going. I think it's just getting into the routine. I mean, the calendar changes quite drastically from the college situation where things are really consolidated. This first off season is new for him, but I think that's probably the biggest thing is just kind of getting prepared for and kind of the time frame of the season being significantly different than what he's faced so far in his career.
Obviously there's some expectation, external and internal. Nobody's going to expect more from me than myself. I can promise you that. But I'm just going to try to go out and do my job, man. I think being a high prospect is great. I think it's great for the organization. It's great for the fan base to see. That we have some players who are well thought of and could be beneficial to the organization, which is huge. But when it comes to scrutiny and things like that, honestly, I'm not too worried about it. I put myself, along with a lot of other people who invested in me. We put ourselves in a pretty good situation.
Now it's just about taking the next step, which the 6'3", 220-pounder says will be helped along by developing relationships with fellow pitchers.
I think that's paramount, honestly. I think that's a really big key because, say if he was up in AA this year, I expect to be there, at some point, so I can pick his brain, how are hitters different, how are they responding to, your pitch selection or things like that. And so I think just, gathering that information is obviously just going to, help me once I get there. And if I have the background of how things work a little bit, from what I've heard from them, then that'll obviously help me into that transition.
Casey doesn't need to know much. He's really talented and he's really strong mentally, but usually a lot of things are just like what to expect, things like that for your minor league season or going into your first spring training. I mean, I'm no veteran, but I guess I did kind of live it a little bit longer than he has so far. So that's what I try to help him out with, at least the most, just because the more comfortable he is, the more I feel like he'll be able to go out there and have success quicker. I'm not trying to live up to any prospect ranking or anything like that. I'm just trying to be the best player I can be, which is obviously, I would like to be the #1 prospect or the best. That's just who I am, what I'm trying to do.